Coach, you had a frustrating loss last night, but that's a pretty good way to rebound, beating the #1 team in the country.
Yeah, Todd, it was a tie. Okay, it was a tie. Okay, no, you're right. The message this week was always one game at a time, and obviously yesterday we looked past Arizona and you play a top 20 team, and that's what happened. So, really proud of the response today. Kind of feels like a roller coaster right now, like this. So we need to kind of keep a steady head here, but great response and very proud of the effort and the execution today against a very good hockey team in Minot.
Do you think the way that the game last night transpired prepared you guys for tonight's game, the intensity, the closeness of last night's game?
I think if you look at last night, that maybe it was a wake-up call. Nothing against Eric, like that's just a very different hockey game than last night. I think it took us almost 2 periods to find some type of game, and I think really yesterday was just a wake-up call of doesn't matter who you're playing, if you just come in and you're overlooking them, you're gonna get beat. So and just there wasn't enough tenacity to our game yesterday, and today you felt that the boys were putting everything out there, and even the second period when we give up 2 there, like Minot's, they're going to respond. You give them enough power plays, like we gave them way too many power plays. That power play is really good, so we have to limit that stuff tomorrow. But what a goal by Soupy there at the end. What a goal. So nice to get it, and we'll enjoy it, and then we'll get back at it tomorrow.
When you have the #1 team coming in, what's the message for you guys going into it?
It was an odd message, I do have to say, because you're a very uncharacteristic game yesterday. So you're trying to, that's unacceptable. Hockey at this time of year. I thought, we're more mature than that. That should not have happened. And then in the same 10-minute meeting, be able to then rephrase it of, we can erase yesterday by a phenomenal effort today. And we need to do X, Y, and Z to make sure that we put ourselves in that position. So that ultimately was the message, and it's certainly kind of a difficult one to massage, but obviously the guys responded the way that we needed to tonight.
You played 2 games in a row, you've had a couple injuries, but you do want to walk away with another win tomorrow. How do you rally the troops for one more night? Yeah,
we talked about this was supposed to simulate, a national tournament in some regard. If you're going to try to win 4 games in 4 or 5 days, you're not going to be 100% come that last game. So I can promise you, we're not going to be 100% tomorrow. You saw their roster. They dressed 17 players today. They are not 100%. So, we got to lick our wounds a little bit tonight and get back at it with whatever group we can put out there. Because they're going to come out firing. They didn't travel 16 hours to get swept. So, and that's a lot of pride in that room. It's a hell of a hockey team. So, they're going to come out firing tomorrow.
What do you say during that second period after you give up the 2 goals? How do you keep them?
Well, the second period, it was one, you're only playing with 5 deep, so you're trying to manage that, slow it down at times. Tough, too many men on the ice, which I wasn't even mad about. Like it was the right release on the low to high play, and unfortunately it just comes right to when we're changing, and we've talked about making sure that we're committed to changes, and maybe only committed 99% to it. So that the second period was just kind of back and forth, and then we're on the 5-on-3. Got a great look by Flo. Flo had the whole net open and wanted to get 3 points out of with the field goal there. And then they get the penalty, then they get a power play, and we got to kill that off. So it was really just like taking a deep breath and saying, guys, after yesterday, I think if we would have told ourselves we're in a tied game going into the third, we would have probably taken it. So we need to do X, Y, and Z to make sure that we're in a position to win a hockey game, come the last 5 minutes. And obviously we get a lucky bounce there. I thought we created our bounces, you know, for the most part, and just hey, like, sucks to give up 2 guys, but we would have taken a 0-0 game going into the third. So, and by no means that I think even if we got the 3rd goal that they were going to go quietly into the night, like that's not going to happen. So it was going to be a close game. When we're up 2-0, you're looking at the score like this is not going to stay 2-0, and we're going to need to kind of fight through some stuff. And even though we gave up 2 in the second, I thought we did do some good things.
First 5 minutes of the third period, Minot came out flying, and then you guys seemed to kind of counteract in the second half of the third period. Was there any one thing that really kind of swung it the other way?
I think it's just the ebbs and flows of the period. You know, you saw the refs, they tried to take themselves out of the third, which is always nice, and kind of let it play out. I thought the first probably 6 minutes, there were some turnovers in the neutral zone where, like, that puck just has to get below the goal line. You got to make him go 200 feet, and then instead, it's a turnover. They have the puck at their blue line. They only have to then go 125 feet, and then our D can't change. So then our D are out there for a minute 25, and then your D, who are already short, you know, we're running 5 at that point, you know. So I think that's what happened in the first 6 or 7 minutes. We did a much better job of getting the puck below the goal line. We had better changes, and I you know, we had some good pressure. They had good pressure, but in those positions you have to just kind of bend and don't break. And I thought Painter came up with some really good saves, some good shot blocks there at the end, and always nice to, you know, with a minute left it was stressful, but then with about 10 seconds left, you know, puck goes at the far with about 7 seconds left. That does kind of give you a nice take a deep breath and you know, enjoy it for a split second. So for the most part, I thought the third was just good hockey, just really good hockey. So that is what the national tournament games, if you're an ACHA fan, will look like, hopefully in about a month. So really good parity, but give Minot credit. That's they got about 17 players, and there's a reason why they're number 1 in the country. So I expect a hell of a swing out of them tomorrow.
You talk about licking your wounds, moving on. We've seen a lot of Lucas Payne here. What have you seen out of him?
Steady Eddie, like our goalies, and this is not just one. I think as a totality, when you look at our goalies in our program, you know, the 8 of them that we have, if they let up 3 goals, 5 goals, 7 goals, whatever it is in a game, I think every one of them would come off the ice, and it wouldn't be like, I can't save that backdoor play or whatever it might be. Every goal that they give up, there's always like, hey, I could have had it. Somehow I could have had it. And I think that perspective makes them continue to get better. And Boehner should have all the confidence in the world, and the group's playing hard in front of him. So I know he gave up a tough one at Ohio. Played good yesterday, played good today. And all you can hope for your goaltender is give you a chance to win a hockey game. And Boehner continues to do that. And as a coach, that's all you can ask for.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah, thank you, Todd.